like that. Woo!
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. My name is BJ Matthews, a.k.a. B Jizzle.
Hey, man, you already know who it is. It's your co-host that does it the most. It's your boy Slick Rick, a.k.a. Rick Masters, at Rick Masters23 or Mr. Lee on Instagram. Yo, you already know what time it is. Cash App, $ BJ Matthews. We also got the tags in the chats now since we with YouTube. We doing it big, and it's all thanks to you guys. And again, we got the red, we got the black, we got the white, we got the white tanks, the hoodies, the sweaters, man. Hey, give us your address, give us everything that we know about you so we can send these good products to you. Because, hey, my sweater keeps me warm. My shirt makes me look fly. But, yo, B Jizzle, back to you.
Like my man said, get your shirts, get your merchandise, you know what I'm saying? $35 for the shirt, $40 for the sweatshirt, you know what I'm saying? Hoodies, you know what I mean? Red, black, and white, all sizes and colors, all genders, both male and female. Cash App, $ BJ Matthews. You can go through our YouTube page in the chat. You can donate that way through the super chat as well. I'm on the road right now driving, so don't mind me, but we're going to throw the show down. Bro, guess who's back on the court? We got Kyrie Irving, man. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Drew back on the court again after an 8-game suspension. Okay? It's been a crazy, you know what I'm saying, few weeks for, you know, the Brooklyn Nets and Kyrie in general, from the whole, you know, anti-Semitic controversy and him having to, you know, be suspended for games and all different types of things, man. Let me hear from you. How do you feel about the Kyrie Irving reinstatement? Let me hear your initial thoughts.
You said Kyrie coming back. You said reinstatement. What was that last part you said, B?
Return to the court.
Oh, man. You know, first of all, he never should have went through what he went through. Let's just make that very clear in my personal opinion. I mean, at the end of the day, man, I'm happy that they got him back, man. We already know Kyrie going to give you an easy 25 to 30 point. You know, you let him go off. He's an incredible talent. You know what I mean? I feel like he's one of the main reasons why people even go to a Brooklyn game. You know, he's a ticket seller because, as you and I know, watching Kyrie's like poetry in motion. I mean, he's not the biggest guy out there. He can't jump the highest. He's not the fastest. But, man, them skills are so magician-like that you get caught up in his whims when he's playing ball, man. I mean, it's just literally, if you go watch Kyrie on YouTube videos in slow-mo and just watch his videos, it's like you are paying to see the artistry, man. You are paying to see him just destroy teams when he does his thing. So, and of course, KD, you know, that's the reason why they're there together. I mean, they're trying to win a championship. Kyrie's definitely a part of that boat, man. And so, you know, I'm happy that he's playing again, but you already know what it is, man. So that's what I feel. I'm just glad the brother's back, man.
I couldn't agree more. So, off of basketball, you know, just basically, like you said, most skilled player in the NBA, in my opinion. Anybody else got a difference of people in the comment section, but Kyrie, in my opinion, is the most skilled player in the NBA. When you go watch him play box office, with the handles, with the shot, with the playmaking, with the finishing ability, all that stuff mixed into one is why the Brooklyn Nets are box office and why they miss Kyrie Irving, why they need him on the court, why the NBA is better with Kyrie Irving on the court. Now, of course, if you ask people off the court, they're not too fond of Kyrie Irving. Basically, you said it how you said it. Basically, I don't feel like he should have went through what he went through, having to serve that 8-game suspension. That list of things that he had to do to get reinstated on the court, like saying, you know, take anti-Semitic training, take sensitivity training, things of that notion after he apologized for what he did. I just thought it was a little bit too excessive, and basically I feel like, in my opinion, it was just to get back at him for not taking the COVID shot, in my opinion. That's what I think it was. So, glad to have him back on the court. But let's talk about that, bro. So, in your opinion, so we talked about this for the show. Kyrie Irving dealing with what he had to deal with, obviously, because he works for the Brooklyn Nets. He works for their organization. He's a basketball player for their team. But what people seem to forget or don't remember is that Kyrie Irving was an advocate of also trying to start their own league, right? And it was like some controversy between him and LeBron and the other players about doing that, so they never even got a chance to start it. What are your thoughts of NBA players starting their own basketball league, and do you feel like it could work? And what do you think some of the obstacles could be and why they haven't started it yet? Let me hear.
I mean, look, man, it would absolutely work because wherever the talent or the entertainment goes, so shall the fans, right? If you take all the greatest players in the league right now and then they created their own league, well, guess what? Viewership is going to go to that new league. You know, when it comes to the ops of business itself, okay, you're paying to see the entertainment of certain players, right? And peace and salute to players for Keeps 20 and Marco, man, salute. But you know, when you go pay for those yearly tickets, those seasonal tickets, when you turn on your NBA TV, when you look at live stream, when you're paying for all these different programs, there's an understanding that you're paying it to be entertained. There's an understanding that you're paying it to watch your favorite player play. So that if you take your favorite players and most of the league and they make their own league, that's too easy. They're gonna be productive. They're gonna have good viewership and good money. Because guess what? That's why the NBA is thriving. Right, it's the NBA pieces, it's the star players who are the assets of the team, man. You know, they're the main catalyst and reason why people even come to an NBA game. If there was no LeBron, if there was no John Morant, if there was no Kawhi Leonard, if there was none of these top players, Luka Doncic, all these players, if they didn't play in the NBA, it'd be nothing to watch, right? I would dare say and argue that the WNBA would probably be more entertaining at that point if there was no NBA. So I mean, yes, man, it'll be very, very, very successful if, you know, the percentage of players that are the superstars, you know, they left and created their own league because that's where all the talent and fun is at. And so people easily transfer over. So that's what I think about that, man. What about you?
My thing about the starting their own league, first off, like you said, good points, man. If they come to watch the talent, man, like, you know what I'm saying, Gomez come to watch the basketball players, you know, execute their talent. They don't come to watch the owners, the GMs, the equipment managers, the coaches. They come to watch those. So on. We're gonna be transparent. Mm-hmm. So hypothetically, if we take the talent and move it somewhere else, that fan base is gonna carry on to where the talent is. Mm-hmm. So let's say the NBA players say, okay, we're gonna do our own thing, have our own rule set, have our own, you know what I'm saying, contracts, attorneys, all the stuff that the NBA has provided for us for years that we're grateful for. We feel we're at a point where we can get more of our revenue to, you know, further, you know what I'm saying, take on our, for the sky's the limit, pretty much based on what I'm saying. I think the reason why, you know, Kyrie Irving said what he said is that he looked at like, look, we're the product, we're the people that people come to see. So why not we get more of the revenue? Because you guys don't understand, the owners get billions of dollars while the NBA players get millions. And that right there tells you, you know, who's benefiting the most. Now, millions of dollars ain't nobody sniffing off that, but I think you should be able to get what you're owed. And if you're the ones actually putting the product out, there's nothing wrong with you getting more of the revenue piece of the pie. So why do you think they haven't started this whole thing, though, Rick? If it's so easy, why do you feel like, you know, NBA players haven't done it? Is it because you think of time? They just don't have enough time to, you know what I'm saying, sit down, you know, discuss this? Do you feel like they're comfortable just being millionaires because they've come from pretty much not having as much? What do you feel like the reason why they have not started their own league or not even discussed it?
Well, to me, BJ, man, there's a couple of factors, but I think some of the main ones is that for one, they don't know how. Two is that touching on what you said earlier before the show, and I like how you broke it down, man, is that for one, you know, it's fear. I like how you put it. It's fear. You know, when you don't know what to do, where to go, you know, because this will be a brand new thing, right? So that's where you got to put all minds together. And then one thing that you said was that a lot of people, especially our people, don't have the entrepreneur mindset. They don't want to own anything, right? And I think you touched on something very key, because there's a difference between working for somebody and then entrepreneurship, working for yourself, right? And building your own. And I think the big and really that's honestly that's the real thing why Kyrie was even attacked in this whole situation, because if he owned his, couldn't nobody say anything. Right. You were upsetting the people who own your contract. You were upsetting the people who pay you. So if you had your own organization, then it doesn't matter what they think at that point, because it's your name all over it. It's you and the other players' names all over it. So therefore, if somebody has a disagreement, can't nobody tell you to apologize. Can't nobody tell you to take a shot. Can't nobody tell you that when you can leave and hang with your family and when you can come back and play in the league, because it'll be yours. It's just like a CEO or a boss of any company. They don't call in for vacation. They don't come in and ask for their paycheck. They don't do, they give out the paycheck. So they pretty much do whatever they please and feel however they want to feel. And I think Kyrie has the mindset of what many of us want to do. But touching back on what you said, why don't players do it? Is because you said it. Players are comfortable. Certain players are comfortable, man. They have certain contracts. They have certain business partners. They work with certain people. So if you make a certain part of your entity or part of your group upset, or you don't want them to work with you, then that loses revenue. Like you were saying in the beginning, that loses money. So they don't want to mess with their money, right? They don't want to mess with the bag. So they're pretty much, I wouldn't say do anything, but do enough to where they'll keep their bosses happy, to where their money won't, start running low or won't be cut off, or cut off certain partnerships with different entities. But at the end of the day, if you look at the NBA and you look at the magnitude of star players that we have, I mean, brother, you take that and you move it somewhere else, and then you allow them to, you allow the GMs and all these owners to fuss and fight about what they want to do. And shout out to the brother, I forgot his name, but shout out to the brother last week on the show that basically brought this idea up, and also touched on what my father said earlier this week. If these players win credit their own league, man, I mean, at that point, you can do anything you want. We won't be seeing the media talking about, you putting up anti-Semitic videos and all this nonsense. And BJ, you said it perfect, man. The point of it all is that they've been trying to get Kyrie Irving. They've been trying to get him since he fell out with LeBron James. I mean, it's like every time he says something, he's just that guy. He's that guy to go after. He's that guy to attack. And so they had to find something small, because he said it plenty of times before he even apologized that he has nothing against the Jewish community. He doesn't hate anybody. Matter of fact, BJ, you said it yourself. There was Jewish kids that actually showed up to a game and talked to him and handshake them. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I feel like another culture hates me or doesn't want me in their face, I'm not shaking hands with nobody. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to fool with you. But that just goes to show how peaceful of a human being that he is, that definitely doesn't resonate and come off of him in his spirit. So the media, as BJ always tells everybody on that show who's watching, you got to really go do your own research, because at the end of the day, the video that he posted, me and BJ both watched, 3-hour long, documentary from Hebrews to Negroes, essentially is just trying to say that the Black Israelites are the real Jews. And since because you have Jews like Adam Silver and other people who work in those high areas that own the NBA, obviously they're going to find a problem with it. Just like if you had an all-Black NBA and then all of a sudden you got Caucasian male or female basically posting, slavery videos on their Twitter accounts, we look at them sideways like, what you trying to say, right? So definitely get like, I see all sides. Like I see the side of the Jewish community basically, feeling some kind of way, but then I also see the side of Kyrie just basically saying like, hey, I can't be anti-Semitic. Like that's, my people alone, you don't even get the respect that they get. And then on top of that, the real reason why I kind of got a little upset at the NBA is because the man literally already apologized. He told you that he wasn't a certain way. Then later he goes on to apologize and you still give him flack. So to me, I look at that as a form of bullying. Okay. The brother already said, look, I don't have a problem. I never said that. This explained himself thoroughly, and yet they still getting on his head, which brought my dad to this whole conversation and was asking me about it, like, and telling us to talk about it, because at the end of the day, it's like, if all you wanted was an apology, he already explained himself thoroughly. So now that you keep coming after him, even though he did everything, that goes to show you who really has the power, and they really wanted to flex. And I think if Kyrie Irving and most of the superstars in the NBA actually came together and pulled away, it'll really show the owners and everybody who runs the NBA who really has the power. Okay, because like you said, BJ, nobody comes to watch the GMs. Nobody comes to watch Steve Nash coach. Nobody comes to watch all that. Everybody comes to watch the talent that's on the floor. And we know most of the NBA is Black people, and most of the superstars are Black people. So if you definitely go over and you take the NBA and the NBA superstars and they made their own thing, hey, you already know I'm signing up. That's all I got on that, B Jizzle.
Hey, Bruce talking trash. He said PJ going to pick up Kyrie off NBA jail. Bruce is funny, bro.
Bruce, man. Salute, Bruce.
Bruce
Salute.
is funny. But all great points, bro. What else do I have to, piggyback off of? I don't really have to say much else after that. I'll say this though. Ownership is the key to life, in my opinion. In my opinion, I think ownership, building generational wealth, building things for your children, building things for your friends, your extended family who you love. I think that's the big thing. You have to learn to own. And we've been in the position, us as a people, so we have to work so much all the time we don't have time to think about ownership. We're just thinking about surviving, right? So we don't have that mindset to own. Now, I'll say this. Look at a guy like Floyd Mayweather right now, man. Dude's a multi-billionaire. You think people in those industries like Floyd Mayweather, man? Like, allegations put on him, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I used to wonder why they trying to get Floyd Mayweather to fight, get back in the ring. It's because they want him to have an asterisk against his name. They try so hard to get him to fight everybody. He's beat everybody in his decade, in his generation, and they still try to, discredit this man's legacy of being 50-0. So it's more than just being a boxer. The fact that you can't tell Floyd nothing, you can't really, control him. He does what he wants to because he's the owner of his own thing. He's a multi-billionaire, black owned, bro. That's just not something that's sexy, if we're going to be honest about it. If you look at Kyrie Irving, a person who really hasn't done anything legally wrong, hasn't done anything malicious, hasn't hurt no one, the amount of shots he's been taking over the years with the flat earth comment, with him leaving LeBron James, you know what I'm saying, with the whole COVID shot thing, I think all those things the media is trying to find a way to get at Kyrie Irving. And now this right here, I think this is more of a shaming tactic. Just off of something very minor, there's a shaming tactic kind of, humble him. And that's what it's really about. It's about humbling Kyrie Irving. It's not about what's doing right or wrong. It's about trying to humble him. That's why they tried to put him through all those things that he had to do to get back on the team. And I'm like, man, this list is kind of ridiculous. He has to do sensitivity training. What the hell is sensitivity training? Right? So, Kyrie has to, realize where he's at and understand what's the cause, the battle he chose to, fight. Which really is not even something that he really wants to do. It's just that he's just not going to allow you to, control how he thinks. And no one should be able to have to control how they think, man. Everybody should have their own opinions, have their own platforms. Whether I agree or disagree, that's the God-given right that we have. But as far as starting the whole league thing, man, I said, like before the show, basically it's fear. Because if you look at the revenue that most of these top players making, they're making enough money to be able to come and create some type of start of a league. If they chose to put their, funds together and make that commitment and actually looked into, the steps to doing it, it may be a process, like a 3 to 5 year process to get it, to where it needs to be. Then they could do it because they are the talent. But I don't think that, like you said, they're comfortable getting their millions of dollars, man. They're comfortable having security. And the owners know that. They know as long as we give them enough money to just be comfortable, then they're not going to, go against us. They're not going to, kowtow against us. But I think the players need to understand the type of power they really have. They haven't really exercised it yet. Think about it. You can go to a player can go to a team and say, I want to be traded like that. That's power. They used to not be able to do that. You can just go to a team and just be like, hey, man, I'm not feeling this team right now. I'm ready to go to another squad, man. I like to be traded. Players, superstars have that power. So I'm just trying to figure out what is really the problem. Why is it that the players don't understand the true power that they really have and that they haven't exercised yet? That's my only question. But I'm going to hit it back to you, bro, and we're going to start bringing people in.
All right, man. So check it out. At the end of the day, as long as you work for anybody, no matter what level of life you're on, you could be, a McDonald's server, or you could be in the NBA. If you have a boss,
Right.
understand that if you offend that boss, if you go against what the boss is telling you, they have all the power to make your life a living hell. It is what it is. And I feel like if we had our own league, you don't have to deal with none of this nonsense. Because at the end of the day, BJ, you hit it right on the head. Kyrie doesn't cause problems. He doesn't cause serious problems. This man don't be in trouble. He don't be bringing any trouble around the NBA, outside the NBA. He don't do anything like that. But for some reason, he is magnified to such a degree that, it'll make you think that he's a problem child, when in all reality, all he does is speak his mind and play ball. But when he speaks his mind, it's against the higher elites, right? It's against what they believe and what they feel and who basically owns his contracts. So, like I said, it don't matter what level of life you're on. If you're pissing off the guy that gives you the paychecks, you're going to tend to have an issue with them, right? Because, when you really sit down and do a case study on Kyrie, what has he really done? You see what I'm saying? He's made me laugh a few times, but he hasn't done anything to where I'm just like, yo, we got to watch this dude. I don't want my kid watching him. I don't want, his belief system is all like he hasn't done. If anything, he's been very productive and helpful to other communities and other people outside of the NBA, giving donations and always showing love to the lesser, you know what I mean, that don't make as much money or who are not seen, right? So it's like they don't shine light on things that Kyrie does like that, but they shine a light on things that are really nonsensical and that really just doesn't really, to me, even have a point of talking about when the NBA should be about basketball anyway. And so it's, how I'm going to end this note is that when you think about the whole situation, the brother posted a video that he doesn't own, he has not written, he hasn't even touched. And this also makes me want to think about what Shaq was doing while he was on TV talking trash about Kyrie. The brother had the same video and, in his movie theater, but then you're going to call Kyrie like an idiot. Like you're going to tell him that he's wrong, but yet you had the same film, right? That, by the way, he didn't write or he didn't produce in your own your own movie theater. So it's like, in my mind, I'm just like, man, that really goes to show, like, who's for them and who's not for them, right? And I think Kyrie is more so of a peaceful individual. I don't think it's who he's for or not. I think he just wants to be treated with respect. He wants to be treated with love and fairness and just true understanding. Because like he said in one interview, he goes, the same energy that y'all give me, that I give y'all, I want the same energy back. He's basically saying on a respectful level, I don't want any problems. He goes, but somehow, some way, my name's always wrapped up into something. And for him to do so much for others, we don't hear enough of that, but we always hear nonsense about him. So that really goes to show you that the league itself and the owners just don't like him as an individual. Thank you, B Jizzle. Donated $323,000 to Feeding America. Partner with City Harvest to ensure that 250,000 meals are distributed to New Yorkers. Partner with Nike to donate 17 pallets of food and masks to the Standing Rock Sayx tribe. Now, hold on. Now, keep that up, BJ. Now, remember, he didn't want the shot, but he still supported people who are into getting it. Will give masks and put out 17 pallets of food. So that goes to show you he's a peaceful individual right there. Just because he doesn't want it, which is his God-given right, he still supports others who do want it. So you got to look at that right there. That shows a lot about his character. Committed $1.5 million to help pay WNBA players who opted out of the 2020 season. Now think of that right there. Now the WNBA players, they always talking trash to the NBA men. They always got a problem with them, and he still donates. Okay, paid off the college tuition of 9 HBCU students from Lincoln University, purchased a house for the family of George Floyd, according to former NBA player Steven Jackson. And then I believe that Miss Robinson situation where she passed away, I think he also donated money over to that donation as well. But see, we don't hear that about Kyrie. All we hear is how he thinks that the world is flat and he doesn't want to take a shot that the government's trying to force you to take. And then when he puts up a video that he has no revenue, he didn't produce, he didn't write, he didn't make. As soon as he puts something like that on his page, you have Twitter haters and people against Kyrie who go look for that one thing and blast it so they can find something to mess with him with. And I'm gonna tell you, man, Kyrie, man, brother, stay strong. Stay on your, P's and Q's, brother. You know you got support out here. Keep playing ball. Keep making us entertain, man. We appreciate your energy and your spirit, man. Keep being a strong black man. You know we love you over here at the pull-up, man. But at the end of the day, just like Kyrie always said, look, if we really want control over things, if you really don't want to be bothered, you got to create your own, man, your own lane. And I'm pretty sure a lot of us already understand that. But that's how in that one, man. Let's jump into this NBA topics.
Yes, sir. Let's jump to the NBA topics. And also want to count out to that point, bro. He donated $65,000 of his money. Mm-hmm. And not to mention, that's on top of him losing money with Nike. His deal is taken away from, his revenue's been cut where Nike pretty much took away his money. And now he's not getting that endorsement deal. So no more Kyrie Irving shoes right now, man. So I don't think it's about the money. I just think it's his morals, man, honestly. So, gotta respect it. But yeah, man, the league, man, let's talk about some of these teams and then we're gonna let people in. Matter of fact, we can start letting people in right now and kind of have some open talk about some of these teams that we want to talk about. Who are some of the teams you watching, bro, right now in the league that's very, very, exciting right now?
Man, you already know. You already know Giannis and them Bucks. That's my guy. That's my guy. This man is number 2, you know what I'm saying, in the East. We doing big things out here. Surprisingly, Boston is number 1 in the East, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, okay, they clicking. They got things going on. I think another team that I really got my eyes on right now. Now, I was looking at, Utah. Because surprisingly, their defense is really good. And I mean, I watch them, but I didn't know they were doing that good, So right now they're showing 12-6, Milwaukee 11-4, and Boston 13-3. So they up there, man. As far as the league wise, they're number 3. And then Memphis, okay, John Morant has been out here, you know what I'm saying, looking like he trying to sell some tickets. This brother out here balling, man. And so he's always an excitement to see, man. Of course, they number 4 in the league. Atlanta kind of shocked me. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. Number 5. All right, then we got Portland at number 6, Dame Dollar. And then we got Cleveland, which I said a year ago. I said, hey, man, that little young team get going. Y'all better watch out. You know what I'm saying? And so, those teams right there are really catching my eye. But I want to ask you, B. Jizzle, as people are coming in, okay, now that we see that, let's see. We got Boston, Milwaukee, Utah, Memphis, and Atlanta. Okay, has your mind changed at all? Who's going to be in the finals this year? Do you still think it's going to be the Clippers in the finals? And do you still think it's going to be the Nets? Or do you looking at this season and how things are going, do you think it's going to switch up? What do you think?
Right now, bro, my bad. I got the Clippers and the Bucks. That was my preseason pick, the Clippers and the Bucks. The Nets, to me, the problem with the Nets, they don't have the big guy in the post. I think they're not physical enough. I think they got, scoring. Of course, they have their scoring, but their defense, they're going to have to show them they can play defense. We'll see how Ben Simmons, picks it up. He continues to play. He had a good game against Portland. They play against the Grizzlies today. So we'll see how that happens. But I got the Clippers and Bucks right now. If the reason why I got the Clippers because, of course, Kawhi's back. They're fully at health. They're full strength. And I just watched them play against the Spurs last night. They won 119-97. And I think they're starting to get those other guys in rhythm. Norman Powell, Reggie Jackson, Paul George is still playing how he's playing. And I think it's not going to take too much long for Kawhi to get where he needs to be at. So once they start hitting full cylinder, and if Ty Lue doesn't, mess this up, they should be in the finals this year because the West is so wide open, man. If you look at teams like the Memphis Grizzlies, Ja Morant's dealing with an injury. He just got hurt on Friday. He sprained his ankle. We wish him a speedy recovery. The Lakers ain't going to do nothing this season, even though Anthony Davis had 2 monster games. They're not going to be really a force to be reckoned with. The Mavericks are going to be an interesting team. I still think the Mavericks don't have enough from everyone else outside of Luka. But as far as their scoring, Luka Doncic is definitely, on a different level. I got him as the MVP, but I don't think that he's going to be able to hold the fort down for against the entire West. New Orleans is my sleeper. That's my dark horse. I got them being at least to the second round, and I think they have a very well-rounded team. I think guys with Zion, Brandon Ingram, and CJ McCollum, that three-headed monster, that's going to be enough to get them to at least the second round, and we'll see what happens there. That's the Western Conference. Utah doing their thing. Dame Dollar, man, you know how I feel about Dame, man. You know how I feel about Dame Dollar, man. He's definitely, a top 5 point guard. So we'll see what he does with that team. I know he wants to win a championship, but we just got to see what's around him. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the West, bro. The East, I got the Bucks winning the Eastern Conference. But let me hear from you some of the teams in the Eastern Conference. You named a lot in the West. Who in the Eastern Conference do you have besides the Bucks, and who do you got going to the finals this season?
The Bucks, and the 76ers. I mean, look, man, when I think about the Eastern, I just think about those big men, right? Joel Embiid, I think about Giannis. I mean, of course you got the Bulls, don't get me wrong, man. You definitely got the Bulls. They doing their thing. And, I'm looking through the list now. And when I think about other teams in the East, I'm just like, Cleveland, of course, they doing pretty good. But I'm just like, of course, I'm going to give a shout out to my boy Butler and the Miami Heat. I always feel like that team is pretty solid, when it comes to basketball in general, as far as from the GM all the way down to the players. I just feel like that culture itself, they play tough basketball. So we definitely, you definitely talk about them. But the more I look at it, man, it's just like, I just, outside of Brooklyn Nets, Milwaukee Bucks, the Bulls, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. It's like, I guess to say nobody really excites me as much as what's going on in the West.
What about them?
Yeah, I did mention the Cavs. Like the Cavs, they doing their thing as well. Like there's more teams in the West to me, in my opinion, than really in the East, far as, the excitement level, because, the West is just snapping right now. And of course you got, the Celtics, they number one, which my only thing is, I wonder if the Celtics, how they're playing right now, and of course we're early in the season, but I wonder if they can carry this out like they did last year and take it pretty far into the playoffs, man, because the way they playing right now, they look lethal, they look good, but it's like some people always say, regular season and postseason are two different atmospheres, right? Like two different, energies, two different, coaching gets more intense. Everything gets intense in the postseason. So it's like certain teams can be doing real good right now, but then, in the postseason, it's like, what happened? Like the Suns are a good example of that, bro. Like they'll be doing good during the regular season. They get in that postseason and just, I don't know what happens. They just forget how to play ball, I guess. But right now, as far as the East, I'm going to say it's going to be the Bucks, of course. It's going to be the Sixers. It's going to be the Heat, and I like the Bulls as well, man. But what about you?
So let me start with the top team, the Celtics. So they definitely have surprised me this season because I didn't know how they were going to play without their coach, Ime Udoka. So, and I don't know how much Jason Tatum was going to get better, but Tatum is definitely an MVP candidate, and they've seen the whole support down in Udoka's absence. You got to give them credit. We got to give them, at least a chance. The Miami Heat, they have the playoff experience. They have they can have a season where they're kind of going through the motions. When they get to those playoffs, that's when that they turn another notch. And so I know they got the coach to do it, Eric Spoelstra, and I think that Jimmy Butler is one of those guys in the playoffs who just turns up to another level. I'm just kind of to see what those other supporting guys, Lowry, Oladipo, Hero, going to do. Max Strus, how much better are they going to come for the ride with Jimmy Butler? Because last year, I think Jimmy Butler suffered from basically having to do a lot by himself. So how much are those other guys going to come with him and, rise to the occasion? That's my only thing. The Cavs, man, listen, the Cavs can get to the conference finals, man. They can get to the conference finals, in my opinion. I have the Sixers being there originally, but I think the Cavs are better than the Sixers because the Cavs got length. and I think Donovan Mitchell is going to tip the balance being to the Cavs' favor. Darius Garland is another, primetime point guard right now in the league. So, I think he's going to be a problem for them to deal with as well. But another team, like you mentioned, I'm glad you mentioned them, man. The Atlanta Hawks are a team that I watched last night who's going to be a team that's going to be reckoned with, like they can win as well. Trae Young is still a top 5 point guard in this league, in my opinion. And he said in the interview with I think Malika Andrews that he's trying to bring a championship to Atlanta. You can't forget what he did just 2 seasons ago, getting his team to the conference finals. So with that being said, I think Atlanta's gonna feel like they can. What about us? We still got a good team as well. We still got a top 5 point guard. We just added DeJounte Murray to the team. We still gonna be here. You got about 5, 6 teams in the East that feel like they belong. Milwaukee, Boston, Miami, Philly, Brooklyn, and Atlanta. So that's what I have to say about the East pretty much. But so you got coming out the West.
Man, I mean, so far right now, man, I mean, I just feel safe with Clippers right now, because I feel like they have a whole system. They got the coach, they got the team. I think, John Wall is really playing phenomenal. Like, because, we had our thoughts about how he would be with this team, but actually watching him play with the team is actually a big, big contribution. Like, I mean, he literally just fills in the spots, man. It's like when he gets on the floor, like even when Jackson's out there, he knows how to run with Jackson. It's like, dude, is just a perfect match for the team. And so I feel like the reason why I'm saying Clippers, at number 1 is just simply because Ty Lue, man, he knows how to change stuff on the fly. It's like the minute he sees something and then he has the pieces to make the changes. A lot of times teams can be good, but if you're just top heavy, you can't get far because your bench can't do anything. Or if your bench is pretty decent, you don't have enough stars in the starting lineup to really carry you throughout the game. So I just feel like the Clippers, they have the coach, they have the culture, they have the bench, they have the star players, they have the recipe to actually make this thing a good deal for them, but they just have to pretty much execute. Really, all the Clippers have to do is execute. They have to get in there, handle their business, and execute, man, because at this point, man, I just don't see really any holes inside of their system, man. So if they can just pull it together, man, and get it going, they have the pieces. But of course, just because you have the pieces, you got to put them to good use. So I just feel like, the West, that's what we're looking at, man, but they got to pull it together. And now one thing I also will say is that Utah, like I said, it's strange to me. Like I'm like, dang, like I ain't know they was that good.
Bro, Lauri Markkanen, man. That white boy Lauri Markkanen, man. Dude, he's a problem, nice. Man. He is nice. He is nice.
So I'm just like, Utah may be a shocker. We don't know, man. But like I said, man, I just feel like Clippers, they got everything in general. So I just feel like if they could execute, hey, man, Kawhi can come out with that 3rd chip. You know what I'm saying?
What the hell is going on with the Warriors? I'm going to let Bruce in a minute. What the hell is going on with the Warriors?
Man, look, man, I think one of the things that are going on is that I think we tend to forget that age does play a big role. Okay, this is not the young Warriors we're used to seeing playing LeBron, right? This is an older team. That's why this 4th championship for that team was such a big deal, because it's like, remember before they won that 4th one, they was going through a lot. People were injured. Thompson, we didn't know if he was coming back or not. We didn't know how he was gonna look. Green, him and Steph were trying to hold it down, but of course it was just them two. But what I really like is how they built the other players that's on the team to make them feel more confident and to play, better. But I think far as overall what's going on with the team, man, I think one of the biggest factors is just, man, that age is coming in. They're not the biggest team. People got to remember they're not a big team. It's not like you got some tall men down there just like banging bodies. Like that team itself has to stay moving. They have to run around, because if they try to play a stationary type of game, a half court type of game, I feel like they'd be in big trouble, because they don't have big men like that's moving around and that can actually bang out on the boards. So I think, them being a smaller team, them not having a big man presence, you know, at least a decent big man presence where they could actually feed the post, which allows the guards to move around and do their thing. I just feel like, man, you know, it's tough. I mean, some people may say Draymond could be the issue, but even I'm taking all like, you know, drama-filled things out of the picture, looking at purely basketball. I just think that you know, they're a little bit older. They got wear and tear on them legs. You know what I mean? They don't have a big presence on the inside. So when you play against teams who are big on the inside, like Utah, you know what I mean? Like teams that are big, then you're going to have an issue. You know, even the Celtics right now, if they played them again, it's going to give them a run for their money. Because, you know, they just have those younger, bigger dudes that like to bang and like to play hard. So, you know, I just feel like, you know, age is starting to show and that big man presence is really not there, man. And they got to keep moving.
Yeah, I got no lies, bro. No lies. So, Bruce, what's up, man? What's good with you, man?
Big
what
Bruce.
You got on this topic?
Hello, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Doing good, Bruce. How you doing, brother?
I'm all right. I'm trying to deal with the cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do I have on which topic? The Warriors? The Clippers?
Oh, you can really,
Everything.
yeah, everything, man. Right now, it's an open discussion panel. So yeah, you can talk about the Warriors, whoever.
Okay. For the Warriors, I think it's one of the reasons is the punch. Nobody is comfortable because I watch the Clippers and a lot of Warriors. I don't see Draymond Green yelling at teammate like he used to, barking orders, communicating, and it's like there's a pool camp and there's a Draymond camp, and so I think that's what's going on. That's what they had the meeting. I think they had a meeting a couple of days ago, and Jamarcus Green was not playing well as supposed to. You know, they try to put Wiseman. Wiseman cannot defend, fouling a lot. That's the issue. They foul a lot, and teams get back into the game because they shoot a lot of free throws against the Warriors. Because they foul a lot. They foul a lot, man. And Jamarcus Green cannot play the 4, so he has to play the 5. And when he plays the 5, the Warriors better. So the starters are fine. It's the bench. And Klay Thompson he thinks that he still wants to prove something, that he's still the same player. That's why he got mad when Barkley said, "You're not the same player." He is not the same player, and he's chucking shots. When he has to pass the ball, he doesn't pass the ball. Clippers, I think when Kawhi play, Clippers have a new swagger, man. When you watch the team when Kawhi play, it's like, oh man, we got Kawhi now. You're done. You're done.
Yeah.
That's the way I see the Clippers playing, man. And, you know, even if Kawhi is not scoring a lot, the defense is up level. They don't have to worry about a certain player. They said, oh yeah, it's like football, man. You put a cornerback, you know, somewhere, and then so when I see Kawhi play, Clippers defense is going up. Now I'm hoping that Paul George is not really hurt, because he didn't finish the game. So we'll see what happens. But Clippers just need to play one game at a time, and the West is wide open, man. The West is wide open. And I don't think the Mavericks are that good. It's a one-man show. One-man show don't win in the playoff. That's why the Mavericks keep losing. They're going to win a lot of regular season games. And they're going to, you know, and Phoenix is struggling because Chris Paul is not healthy. He's breaking down. And Timberwolves not that good. They miss Patrick Beverley leadership. And New Orleans, I don't think CJ is a closer. They have everything. They just need a closer. Who's the closer in Pelicans? Where the Pelicans?
I think CJ is a closer. And I've seen CJ close out games. Like Game 7 when they played the Nuggets in the second round a few years ago with Dame. CJ closed that game. Dame Lillard was struggling.
Why can't they close the Warriors?
Steph Curry, man. Steph Curry. Everyone having it.
And Dame is hurt again. Like last night.
Again?
Yeah. Dame is hurt again. Ja is hurt again. Yeah. Wide open West. There's no excuse for the Clippers not to win. No excuse.
What about Denver? How you feel about Denver?
Denver is not that good, man. Jamal Murray is not the same level of point guard right now. I think next year he might be back. And Michael Porter Jr. is always hurt. So
Okay.
What about the East?
It might be the Celtics again in the finals. They are in a mission. And the Bucks rely too much on Giannis, man. If Giannis is not on the floor, they're struggling to score. And Drew Holiday is tricky. Like for 5 games, he's like cannot miss, and then the next 5 games he's missing. So I don't know. We'll see with Middleton. So it's between the Bucks and the Celtics. I think Miami is not gonna go anywhere. Jimmy Butler is missing games now. He's gonna miss the next 4 games, the road trip. So Miami might need a move.
What about Philly or the Cavs?
Injuries. The Cavs gonna go back down, man.
We'll see about them.
I know you love Mitchell, but I don't know about that.
I don't know about that one.
I like Mitchell, man.
Yeah, okay.
They play Atlanta next week against Trae Young and Dante Murray. That's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, they're gonna win that.
You don't like Atlanta? You really don't like Atlanta?
They're small, man. They're too small.
Yeah.
Atlanta, man. I mean, I would have to agree. Like, as much as I like the Bucks, I think he hit it right on the head. Bruce was like, they rely on Giannis way too much. That's a fact. As much as I like watching them play and dominate, man, when Giannis is not playing, it's like, who are you? And you definitely got to have some pedigree, man. You definitely got to, even when your star players are not playing, you still got to be a tough team to beat. So I definitely agree with them on that.
That's the issue with the Warriors this year, man. They rely on Steph Curry too much. Steph Curry has to score 45, 50 for them to win. That's too much, man.
How do you feel about Giannis's video against the Sixers? What did you think about that video?
I think just let the guy finish shooting the free throws and move on, man. I think the people were trying to fix the stadium after the game. I think they're the one who started, and then Giannis finished it. And then Montreal's he's frustrated because he's not playing. That's what's going on. So both sides. I'm saying this. I don't like saying both sides, but both sides are at fault. Giannis, just move on, man. They don't want you to shoot. Just let it go. Just go.
Giannis wasn't trying to have it, man. He was like, man. And then I watched the full video. I'm like, okay, I kind of see why he was upset. Because you could tell they're trying to instigate and, provoke him.
Yeah, you let them win, man. They're pushing the ladder and stuff. Man, you don't need to do all that. Just take the ball and say, okay. Like when Chris Paul was not allowing Steph Curry to practice, what did he do? He took it under the game. That's what Giannis needs to do. Don't need to push ladders and stuff. Montrezl was keeping the ball. Man, you need to keep the ball from Doc Rivers.
Yeah. Andre, what's good, man?
Andre.
Salute, Rick. Salute, BJ. Listen. We can put the blame and say Giannis is not, the Bucks rely on Giannis too much, but he don't have Chris Middleton, though. And I feel like the game against Philly, he was a reason why they lost that game because he was like 3 or 14, 3 or 15 from the free throw line. If he made about 7 free throws, they win the game. And the viral video, I feel like Philly was just, they were just being petty. Montrezl Harrell being petty. The whole other court was on the other side. If you wanted to practice, you could have just went there and, got your shots up and whatever. But, trying to be petty, trying to stand up to Giannis like, yo, go back to Milwaukee, go work on your free throws and shit like that. He just took the ball from him and, created a scene. And, the employees over there too, not trying to make him work out. But I don't feel like it's anything serious. People are saying that because of this video, Giannis about to go off and score 60 on Philly next time. He could do that. We know what Giannis could do, but the thing is, if he doesn't have Chris Middleton, Milwaukee won't go far, and Boston will most definitely be in the finals because they're on the mission, like you just said.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think with the video, man, like, like I just said, he was just trying to provoke him to, and really Giannis showed a lot of restraint in that video, if you ask me, because he could have walked to Montrez and, slapped the ball out of his hand or something, but he did. He just walked to the locker room and got another ball.
I'm saying they better quit messing with the friendly giant.
You
better quit messing with him, But no, like you said, man, it's like, Middleton is a big piece of that team. So I sadly I would have to agree because, like I said, I really like Giannis, but the reality is Middleton is a big core of that team. So if he's not playing, I mean, unless Giannis turns into a Super Saiyan guy, bro, and he dropping 60, 70 points a game, it's going to be tough without Middleton. Do I think they can get far? Do I think they have the grit and the grind? Sure. But, be it that he get hurt, knock on wood, or, Middleton doesn't come back, I'm going to have to sadly agree, man. Middleton, he does play a nice little chemistry with that team.
So Baba is Andre now? Okay.
Bro, my real name Andre. I mean, that's just given to me.
Yeah. Are you worried about your Sixers, Andre?
Yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried that I'm going to lose a bet to BJ because I got three of my important players out, and MB is the only man, But I mean, they were competitive yesterday, but they were playing back to back in 3-point games to Minnesota. So
you love size Maxi, man.
Hey, Bubba, I got news. I got news for you, Bubba. If you had your full team, they still lose.
Oh, man.
You got Doc Rivers. You got Doc Rivers. You got Doc Rivers as your coach. That's how.
Bro, we had Doc Rivers, and we was the number 1 seed in 2021.
No. With this team, this Cavs team, with this team they got now, with their coach, I feel like they better than the Sixers. Regardless, I think Bickerstaff's a better coach than Doc Rivers.
Bro, you can't say that. Come on, bro.
He's done more with less, man. I think he's done more with less.
I think
bro, he hasn't made it to the playoffs yet, though. So how has he done more?
Cleveland can beat the Sixers. They have the size, man.
I think Mitchell's better than James Harden. And I think Darius Garland is just as good as Tyrese Maxey. That's a close one, but I think Mitchell be better than Harden. Now, of course, Embiid's better than everybody, but hey, they still got size on that Cleveland team.
I mean, their power forward is underrated. Evan Mobley, he's good, man.
Real good.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
We were talking about we were talking about Lauri Markkanen, man. Like
Lauri
Markkanen is looking like a new Larry Bird, man. For the Jazz.
The reason why I say Cavs now is because you get injured, man. You have it's because of Tyrese Maxey injury. So he's gonna miss 3 weeks. How long is it gonna take for him to recover?
Yeah, 3 or 4 weeks.
And you might be like lower seed now by that time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying it. I mean, your team should win, but you're gonna be lower seed.
I mean, all right. So, Bubba, who do you think is gonna be in the finals this year?
From the West?
No, overall finals, East and West. Yeah, overall finals.
For the West, I gotta go with the Clippers, man. I mean, they got the depth. They got, I wouldn't say peak. I wouldn't say sorry about that. I wouldn't say peak Kawhi because he's recovering from an injury, but I should expect Kawhi to be 85% by the playoff time. So I would definitely say the Clippers versus. I gotta go with Boston because they've been on the tear. Like Jason Tatum's looking good, Jaylen Brown looking good. Like the whole team, they got Malcolm Brogdon coming off the bench, doing great things for them. Like they don't have no weaknesses in their roster as well. I can say that Boston has a deep roster as well in the East because of what they're doing, what they can do with their starters and the players off the bench. Malcolm Brogdon can come off the bench and give you 25. He can like outscore the other team's entire bench by himself. So I'll definitely say Boston and the Clippers. If nobody's injured, definitely Boston and the Clippers. I don't see Miami doing anything special in the East. I mean, they could get to the conference finals, but to get over the hump and get to the finals, I don't see that. So I'll definitely say Boston and Clippers.
I have a question for Andre or Robert. What is PJ Tucker scoring? Has he scored this year?
Has he scored? Yeah, he made a couple corner threes.
I mean, the last 3 games is like 0 points, right?
Yeah, but I mean, he's not there for his scoring. Playing defense and stretching the floor and knocking down threes, which
he played defense.
What'd you say?
Did he play defense this year? Is he playing defense?
I mean, not very good, but it's okay defense. I mean,
is he worth the money, man?
I mean, look, I would want him off the team. I mean, I would want him off the team. I wouldn't want to pay him $33 million for that.
Yeah, pretty much. Bruce is saying, what's he there for? That's what Bruce is saying.
Bruce make you answer the question.
Man, I'm watching the game. I'm like, what is he doing? Is he playing this year? It's saving money to buy sneakers. That's what I do.
Yeah, he'd be looking lost on offense. Just standing in the corner.
He the ball version of Draymond Green. He just be acting like he doing something, ain't doing nothing.
Man, Draymond Green I think that's his last year with the Warriors. I told you in the summer. I told you.
Yeah, we did tell you though.
You did tell me that. I ain't gonna even lie on that one. That dude's been triple single all year. 5, 5, and 5.
If Draymond Green goes to the Hall of Fame, the first person he needs to take is Stephen Curry. Okay.
Steph Curry, man.
Yeah.
Whew. That brother, even though it's like, yeah, Bruce said it, you can't be dropping 50 points every night. Like he gonna need some more assistance, man.
Yeah, I'm going to the game today. I'm gonna watch the Rockets and the Warriors.
Hey, Bruce, I'll be there too.
What? You in Houston?
Yeah, that's where I'm driving right now.
Oh, okay.
I'll be at the game, so hit me up.
Oh snap!
No snap, man. They're gonna see Stephen hit 70 points on Houston tonight.
Yeah, Steph Curry gonna be shimmying. He owns the Rockets every time he plays the Rockets, man.
Yeah. Steph don't like the Rockets, man. He do be going off on them.
Yeah, man.
But well, they need to win on the road. They're 0-8. So.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, on the road?
Yeah, the Warriors are 0-8 on the road.
Dang.
Now, this question is for everybody on the panel. What does the Warriors need to do? Like, with what they have right now, what do they need to do to see a more positive outlook in winning? Like, how can they change things around with what they have right now?
I'm going to let somebody else answer that. I'm going to go last.
Let Jordan Poole punch Draymond, and then...
He said, hit me back, make it even, then we be friends again.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Poole, I think he wants to start because he only balls when he starts.
Yeah. So you think it's just him just not starting the games?
I think he wants to start because when he starts, all the best defenders are preoccupied with Curry. So he has the lane wide open. He can do all those things he does, when Curry, because Curry gets all the gravity, Like if Curry goes right, all the defenders are like going to the, if you watch the game. So Jordan Poole is always left wide open. He can drive, he can shoot all those open threes. When he comes off the bench, the best defender is on him. And he's getting picked on. His defense is horrible. they hunting for Jordan Poole. He's probably one of the best talented offensive player, but one of the worst, defenders.
What about you, Bubba?
I mean, yeah, I agree with what Bruce said, and also I think their bench production is what's killing them. And Klay Thompson as well hasn't been, I mean, I get it. Like, Klay didn't really prepare in the offseason to kind of work on his game because he was kind of scared that he'd get injured again and miss a lot of time. So I feel like that really affected him going into this season. So now the question will be, should we bring Klay off the bench and play Jordan Poole? I mean, I wouldn't really disrespect him like that because, what he's done for the Warriors team. I just say don't give him a lot of minutes and, just start him, but don't give him a lot of minutes and give more of his minutes to Jordan Poole because Jordan Poole doesn't want to come off the bench. He wants to start, wants that shine, wants to start and, get all that shine. So, yeah, I would say play Jordan Poole more and Klay less minutes.
All right, and before BJ go, I mean, I agree with both of you. My thing is to piggyback off of what you said, Bubba, is, I feel like, yes, we know that Thompson, 4 championships, definitely helped the Warriors in the first 3. But it's like, man, at the end of the day, it's like, what are you doing now? Right? It's
Right.
like we trying to win right now. So I get it. A lot of people, I'm pretty sure the players themselves, they think like, hey, I made this franchise, I'm a part of this big piece, but we trying to win today, not 4 years ago. So if it's better, kind of like how they figured it out with the Lakers, like when they had Westbrook come off the bench, it was just a better setup, But it's like Thompson has to feed into that, and understand that it overall helps the team. Because I do agree that I want him to come off the bench. I feel like Jordan Poole is way more productive. He's more of an asset to the team, but I think they do get in cahoots with the whole, and Bruce kind of touched on it with the whole Poole and Green party. And then also when you add in a mixture of, should we or should we not start Thompson? I mean, look, if you're trying to win, hey man, you're gonna have to deduct some of them minutes, man, because Poole, we ain't paying him all this money for no reason. So it comes down to business, man. And I think a lot of times when a player like Thompson has put so much into an organization and has won some rings with him, and he feels a certain kind of way, but at the end of the day, we need to win a championship this year.
Yeah.
Right.
I have a question for you guys. Is Washington Wizards a sleeper?
What's their record?
I mean, Kuzma and Porzingis have been balling.
I think they're 2 games over 500.
Okay.
Yeah, the Wizards are 9-7 right now.
Yeah.
A sleeper, what you mean? Like a sleeper to get to the conference finals in the East, or you think a sleeper to make the playoffs?
Yes, nobody's paying attention to them, and then they snuck up on people. I think they have size enough to beat Atlanta.
They can beat Atlanta, yeah. They can't beat. I don't think they can beat the big dogs. I think it's only because Bill can only he can only beat so many people. He's not in that top tier yet. He's like a top 10 to 15 player. Maybe a top 15, 20 player.
They lost a game to OKC right now. They were supposed to win because Shea Alexander, who the Clippers let go because of Paul George, he's been balling.
Yeah. I said this on a panel, I don't think not too long ago. I said that they should trade him. The Lakers should trade AD for Shea or SGA.
Yeah, you did say that. Yeah, a lot of people was disagreeing with you because they felt like, Shai is not on the level of Anthony Davis. So, he's not that box office. He's not that, level. So they wouldn't do that trade. But honestly, I would do that trade.
He's not going to get the ball, man. You got Westbrook and LeBron. He's not going to get the ball.
LeBron would give him the ball because I think LeBron needs a guy like Shea. Because remember what LeBron was with Kyrie. Like, LeBron needs a killer. I think Shea Alexander is a killer. So he's going to give him the ball in crunch moments and let him do his thing. So I would do that trade in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but the Lakers got like 5-6 guards though, and if you bring this dude in, that's like you adding more guards to the team. You don't have enough wings and 6, 7, 6, 8 guys that can defend the perimeter.
They got defenders.
The Lakers?
Yeah, they're a good defensive team. They just can't score shit.
Is Patrick Beverly still a good defender?
He can still defend.
Okay.
It's just when you have a team that's not well put together, it's like a car. If you have one problem here, then other problems are gonna, happen.
Yeah.
If the whole car ain't put together right, the team is not put together right. That's why so many other things are not falling in the right place, in my opinion.
I think he might get traded and fall out of rotation. With what's his name? Schroeder coming back.
Yeah, I don't think Schroeder. Because now Westbrook. I mean, where do you put? You got Westbrook, Schroeder, Nunn, and Pat Beverly. That's 4 point guard positions.
Right.
Like, who the hell put this team together?
The guy who let Caruso and KCP go.
Oh yeah, that's right, Jim.
No one. I got you, BJ. You driving. No one will believe this, but LeBron won't relinquish that number 1 spot so easily. He still thinks he is him by Pagan 180. So basically, how I'm reading that is that LeBron is pretty much still like the egotistical person, and he won't share with Gilchrist. I mean, I don't know.
Disagree.
Yeah, I think LeBron is he realized I need some help. Like, and I don't mean help like he said in the past, but like I'm old. I can't do what I used to do. Like, I think LeBron, and it's just an opinion, I think LeBron will give in and let old buddy do his thing if he came over. Because I mean, LeBron's like, he ain't the LeBron that we used to see when he was younger. Like, dude is like, no, I think he will pass that ball. Like,
I mean, if AD was a number 1 mentality, had a number 1 mentality, it would be number 1. He's a number 1 talent, but not number 3 mentality.
I agree with that.
But they don't give him the ball enough, though.
You don't think
because
so?
he doesn't want it.
You've been seeing him the last couple games without LeBron. He's been dominating the game. So really, can we ask the question, if they keep winning these games, is LeBron the problem?
Well, he's always the problem. He's just that he's so good that he's a good problem, I guess. Like, he's always the problem, but he's so good. It's weird. It's like an irony type of thing. It's like he's so good, it's bad.
He used to be good. I don't say he's
fair.
So
look,
good.
I can't argue against truth, right? He ain't used to be what he used to be. But he still can attribute to give to a team. He still has something to give. Now, I don't think he should be out there for damn near 40 minutes.
I mean,
but
when LeBron should improve. I mean, the ball boy in the Lakers is working now with all his airball threes, man.
Yeah, no one's saying nothing.
Hey, well, you know why? Because when LeBron on your team, it got to go to somebody else.
Yeah.
If you hit 10 shots, like if you hit 7 out of 10, LeBron hit 3 out of 10. It's your fault he hit 3 out of 10. That's just how it go when you play with him. Like, you got to get ready.
And that's one of the reasons. That's one of the things I would defend about Kyrie. They blame Kyrie for whatever happened between him and LeBron. I think Kyrie is misunderstood. He says a lot of stupid stuff, and I posted them on the comments. He said a lot of stupid stuff, but what the Chinese owner, because sometimes Asian don't like black people. I'm sorry if I say it, but I have to say it.
Wait,
so the Chinese owner of the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's trying to oppress, shut up somebody who wants to express his way. What I don't agree with is when he posted about Alex Jones, but the heat that Kyrie is getting, others should get it too. Where does the movie come from? It's from Amazon. I've not heard anything about Amazon stuff. A
Jeff
critic.
Bezos, anything.
Criticism of Amazon because people are still going to Amazon Prime ordering stuff, and they're not saying anything about where the movie is from. Shaq, your theater had the movie, and then on your podcast you're saying, "Oh, I don't refuse any movies or from Black Africa, but Black American." That's not an excuse, man. That's an idiot move too. That's an idiot thing to say too. So let's not be let's not be hypocrites. So don't shut up somebody who's trying to help his community. Okay, that's what I'm saying. But Kyrie needs to. You know how those people are, man. You know how those people are. Just create your platform outside the NBA where they cannot mess up with you. That's all you're gonna do.
Free Kyrie.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask y'all this last question, man, before we look to end it. What do y'all feel about me and Rick were talking about this, the players starting their own league?
That's not gonna work because I don't think black people own most of the money in the world. And when you're trying to take money away from, from the man, that man is gonna find a way to destroy you. And you have examples toward history. When you try to take away stuff from the man, they try to destroy you. Your reputation, your profile, don't see, just take from the master. Okay. So you can try. Ice Cube try. Is he getting any track? It can happen if all the black players don't say, okay, we're gonna stop playing and we're gonna start our own league. But not all of them gonna do that, man. They just want their money.
What about you, Bubba?
The last time when you said that, I kind of agreed with you when Herm was here. I agreed with that, but I was like, who would be willing to, bring up the money? Because Herm was like, they got like contribute like $100 million, $200 million, something like that. I'm like, who would be willing to bring out that money? Now it's no money to NBA players because they make hundreds of dollars. So, but who would be willing to sacrifice and go into business with some of these guys? Because if I'm in that position, I don't want to be in business with Kyrie because Kyrie's not reliable. He switches. He switches like constantly. He might agree to do something today, and the next day, he's not into it. So if you're going into business with somebody like that, you question how successful it's going to be, and you want it to be successful as possible. You don't want to start something and end up being a failure. So I agreed with it, but I have questions on how it's going to work, and it'll take a long time for it to take off because businesses take a while to take off. They are stars, but it still needs development. And to get people to patronize your product will be very tough, especially if you're competing against these higher people in power. I'm gonna just.
And let's be honest. Most of the customers of the NBA are white.
Exactly.
They're the one who goes to watch the game.
So, you got something to say, Rick?
No, man. I think the panel and plus the people on the side, they're kind of all, saying the same thing. So go ahead.
I think it's how I feel about it. I can pull out 10 billionaire black people out because Bruce said you got to, worry about taking it from the man. You need to have billionaires, not millionaires, to get something like this off. And I think 10 well-known black people we can pull out who are billionaires who can own a team. I don't think it's revenue that's the problem. I don't think it's money that's the problem. I think it's mental mindset that black people don't have the mindset to want to own stuff. They're comfortable just being, workers and being employees and getting a check comfortably from their employers, aka, it could be the white man, Jewish man, Asian man. those parts are used to owning things, right? But I think us as a people, since we've been so like through history, we're used to, working so much. We don't have time to look to have residual income and, generational wealth and things of that nature. And that's just what I feel like if you go through our history. Now, as far as we're the products. The basketball players are the product. Players, fans come to watch the players. If there's no players, there's not going to be any tickets sold. Merchandise can be sold. And the owners understand that. They need the players as much as the players need them. So they can have all the money they want, but if they lose the players, if they lose the product, they're going to not be able to survive. Because nobody comes to see. I wouldn't know who Joe Tsai is unless somebody told me he's the owner of the Brooklyn Nets.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I wouldn't know who he is. You got to understand, like, the power's in the player's hands. It's just they mentally don't know what the power that they can exercise. A player can go to a team and say, I want to be traded. And the team usually has to kowtow to that player if he's a star. I'm not saying all NBA players are just, not playing the NBA. That's what I'm saying, because they have to be able to, earn their money, earn their living. Not everybody's in the same position. But I feel like the top NBA players who are making like $250 million, huge contracts, you know what I'm saying? The Kevin Durant, the Giannis Antetokounmpo, the LeBron James, the Kyrie Irving, the Kawhi Leonard, those guys making big money, they're set for generations already.
Yeah.
But
so it's like, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Like you're still going. I'll go after you.
No, I was saying, like, it wouldn't be so much of a sacrifice for them because they already set up where they got the money to be comfortable. It's those other, 70-80% of players who are not in that position who have to worry about, okay, well, how's that going to look for my family's paycheck here on out? But those other cream of the crop players can do that. They can afford to sit out for a season or not play. They can afford to do that. They get deals outside of basketball through endorsements. Steph Curry can get, like, they all got endorsements. They got crazy money.
Yeah.
So is it really about the money, or is it about just they don't feel like they can do it, or they don't know where to start?
I think, and just to respond to what you're saying, B Jizzle, I think Bubba and Bruce kind of touched on it in two different ways here, and then I kind of just mix it all together. First off, what Bruce is saying is essentially, I don't even think so much that it's fair because, like you said, it's not the money. We understand that they got the money. But at the end of the day, even when you do look back at our history, anytime we try to build something, they come and destroy it. And I mean violently destroy it. Like they get rid of it. So it's kind of hard to build anything when the land that you're building on is going to literally crack under you and let it fall in. So they have the power, right? Because really you want the power. Like money comes with power. But if you got the power and you have the say so and you control everything, it don't matter how smart you are, how many good businessmen you have, or whatever you're trying to start. If they have the power to literally destroy you from the inside out, it's going to be real tough for it to maintain itself. I mean, because like I said, it's not a history channel, but we just use a famous one like Black Wall Street. That was black folks right there coming together. Yeah, what did they do? They went and destroyed everything. I mean, the minute we was building, everything was good. We were borrowing from ourselves. Everything's looking prosperous. Boom, right? So I feel like when you're building on the man's, land, you got to understand that they're going to come after you, right? Especially with Bruce say, you messing with their money, you messing with their revenue and how they got things going because you didn't ask them if it was okay or not. And I think that's the biggest thing too. So, I would more so say now that it's not even fair because I don't really think us as people are really like scared. I think it's more so of tiredness because it's been countless times in history where you try to build, you try to come together, and then here they come. If they ain't got a piece of it or if they not regulating it, cut, boom, fire. Like they blowing it up. It's like, nah, we ain't letting this grow. And so it wouldn't be so much that I think it's fair because I think we have enough in our blood through our ancestry to have the fire to fight. It's just that I think sometimes when you fight so much, you start getting winded, and the same thing repeats itself. But also what Bubba was touching on is like, think about the people you got to work with. I mean, I love Kyrie personally. Like personally, I really do. I think he's a cool dude, but he did make a strong point. As much as I think he's a cool guy, That's a good question. Would I go into business with him? You know, are you going to be here tomorrow? Are you going to show up to work every day and be committed to this organization that we're trying to build? Because especially when you're going against people who are more powerful at the time, it's like you really got to be on your P's and Q's. Like if you're going to have that type of mindset and idea to build your own, you have to be committed. I don't care if you feel sick. I don't care if your family's having a birthday party. Hey, this is the baby right now, and we have to develop this thing. So, you know, I think Bubba made a real good point when it says, can you trust the people you're about to build and work with? You know, and so I think some of these players, they're just comfortable. You know, they're not going to deal with it.
See, that's just it. You just said it. I don't think you said you have to trust each other. And I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't think trust enough of other black people to go in business. If we're gonna be completely honest. And the Wall Street, yeah, they came and burned and, you know, just destroyed everything that we own, right?
Mm-hmm.
Owners, billionaires right now. Look at Floyd Mayweather.
Mm-hmm.
What can they do with the Floyd? They can't take his money. They can't burn his houses down. They can't burn his business down. They can make up stories. They can, you know, try to destroy his character. That's all they can really do. Because we're in an age now where if you try some stuff like that now, you'll be criminalized. There's no way that we'll be able to get away with that type of thing. All they can do is try to smear your name like they've done to Floyd Mayweather, like they've done with Kyrie Irving, like they did to Michael Jordan, saying that he was, you know, excessively a gambler. Like, I remember this comment by Eddie Griffin one time saying, like, they want every black man who's successful to have some type of strike against them. Jordan, gambler. Kobe, rapist. Michael Jackson, less little kids. Kyrie Irving, crazy. Kanye West, crazy. Floyd Mayweather, like every single successful black man who has any type of direction going the way he's supposed to be going, they're trying to create some type of strike against them. And that would really be the only thing they can really do in this day and age. They would not be able to get away with destroying, you know, things, vandalism. They wouldn't be able to do that. So I just think that's what I think, man. I just think that, because really looking at it like now, like you already got Kyrie Irving being embarrassed, and he's under the tutelage of the Brooklyn Nets, so they can pretty much do what they want to do with you. That's my point.
Okay.
I mean, that league will need a sneaker deal. Which black man has the biggest sneaker deal now? I don't know. Which black man owns a sneaker? I mean, I know there's black people who own sneakers.
Probably Jay-Z, one of those two. Probably Jay-Z.
Okay. Well, if Masterpiece starts a basketball league, I know they're gonna talk about he went to jail, his brother is a murderer, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think that's where I think it's what BJ is trying to also like allude to. That's where we have to come in and support, because we already know it's coming. We know they're gonna come try to put a strike against you.
Black people don't support each other, man. It's very hard to get black people to support one another.
Hey, that's a fact. And I ain't gonna even lie to y'all, man, because it's us talking, so we're gonna be real. Let's be honest, dog. How many times have we seen us go into a store, right, and buy something at a regular, you know, convenience store that's not owned by us, but we'll see the black man or the black, you know, person on the side of the gas station or, you know, on the side of the store selling something, we just walk past it.
I got some water, baby. I'm selling water.
It's the mess, and you gotta ask yourself, like, damn, like, why is that us? Like, it can be just as cheap, or it might be a few extra dollars, but instead of supporting our own, we like, nah, we gonna go in this Sally's Beauty Supply, you know, buy these hair products. We ain't gonna buy your shit. We gonna buy their shit.
I mean, every summer, all I hear about, oh, I'm going to Italy, I'm going to France. I never hear people say, oh, I'm going to South Africa, Ghana. No, they never go to vacation vacation on African countries. It's always in Europe. I don't understand.
That's a good point, bro. That's wild. I didn't think about that.
I think two parts of that. One part is that all we see over here on our TV is how they show the ugly part. Africa is a beautiful place, like, but they just show the ugly parts. Like they show where they all the like kind of like if you show pictures of America to another country, they'll show you South Dallas, the hard parts of Compton, the hard parts of New York. And then you go like if I was a Kuwaiti and I'm looking at all these people getting shot and police beating people with nightsticks, I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna go to New York, even though you got Manhattan, you know, you got Los Angeles, you got all these pretty parts of the state. Is like I feel like what they do is that they show, you know, the country is ugly parts, and every continent, every land on this earth has an ugly part or a few ugly parts in it. And I feel like they don't do Africa justice because Africa is a very beautiful place. So they definitely don't show the beautiful parts. And then the second reasoning is that I feel like because they got their hands over there. Remember, this country alone wants to own everything. They say it to our faces every day. New World Order. We want everybody on the same umbrella. So their hands are over there. I mean, Africa is the motherland on so many different levels, as far as, you know, resources, the people, where we come, like it's everything comes from there. So obviously they're gonna make it look bad so they can go over there and do their thing and try to conquer it. But it's like I feel like they promote the European section so much. It's because like, yeah, go over there while we, you know, handle business over here. And then once we own it, you know what I mean? Then we're gonna start putting it on TV because now we're over it. And then they'll start showing the pretty parts. And before you know it, you will see TV channels with Africa people, but they all Caucasian. And you're like, wait a minute, I thought Africa had dark-skinned people. And it's like, nah, we got the best slip and slides and cheeseburger joints over here. But it'll be
right.
We ran like America then. That's the only time they start showing the nice parts.
Real quick, I had Japanese roommates, and they said they're glad they know me because they thought black people were criminals. All black people were criminals.
See what I'm
because
saying?
That's what they saw in movies.
See what I'm saying?
That's real. And that's the power of social media, man. Like, you can make anybody believe anything on that TV. And with black people, man, like, and this is why I feel, because Rick made a point. He said that they would, you know, like Black Wall Street, they vandalized our thing. Could we all agree that the black people back in the earlier times were more together than the black people now?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
but that's before segregation, though, too.
That's
I
what I'm
mean,
getting
after
at.
segregation, I'm sorry.
Let me ask y'all this question, and this will be the last thing I ask y'all. Do y'all think segregation was good for black people, or was it bad for black people? Or a little bit of both?
I'm kind of in the middle of it.
Segregation. I mean, there's still segregation amongst black people too. Rank in society. Like there's some black people who will not talk to you because you don't have a certain things. I mean, segregation still exists, but even racial segregation still exists, but it's not as open. It's in the dark. I mean, we see it. I mean, we could say Kyrie is going to segregation.
It's definitely more covert than overt as it used to be, like what Bruce is saying. You know, you might not see the crosses in the front yards no more, but you know, they got you set up in different ways now. You know, it's very covert.
I mean, when I used to go to college, I show up in a science class. Everybody's surprised because I'm the only black person there. Right? They're surprised that you're smart.
It's sad, but it's true.
Man, that's a fact, man. I'm telling you, bro. And that's like, you know, we're not supposed to be intelligent type thing. I'm like, wow, this is how much they brainwashed a lot of extra different people. They brainwashed them, man.
Y'all too ever heard this one? You speak so well. You're so articulate.
All the time, bro. Oh, I didn't expect you. You actually you do more than just play sports. I thought, do you play basketball or football? Nigga, why can't I play golf? Why can't I play tennis? Why can't I be just basketball, football?
You know, man. You know.
When I say I don't play basketball, what? You black? What?
You don't eat chicken? What? You guys love chicken. You'd be like, man. Well, I like fish, lady. Oh my gosh, something's wrong with this one. Yeah, man. That's how it is. That's the world we live in. You know? And at the end of the day, if we don't stick together, it's gonna keep being the same. It is what it is. It's gonna keep being the same. You know, and like Bruce said this probably like 10 minutes or 15 minutes ago, the biggest supporters in NBA are Caucasian. they buying the tickets, they support. It's like, so, you know, if we don't back each other up, yeah.
I still think this is why I think if let's say what I do know about billionaires, and I know about people who are consumers of a product. I don't care how much I hate your guts or I don't like you. If you get the job done as a billionaire, like speaking of them, they're not going to ever get in the way, their feelings in the way of business. So they're going to try to continue to keep the players around because they understand what they bring to the table. If they don't like Kyrie Irving, but they're going to still understand his value to the NBA. Right? So those consumers the white consumers who are, you know, buying the tickets, bro, I don't think they're going to stop coming to games if the players that we want to create our own league. I don't feel like they're going to still want to be entertained, like at the end of the day, because they have a God-given gift. That's my opinion.
What you think, Bruce?
I mean, I kind of agree with what BJ's saying. It is true. I mean, there's nothing else I can add.
Okay. Well,
so we gonna end it right there, man. Bruce, I will see you later. Text me.
Yes. Okay. I hope I get there. All right.
All right. Oh, that's a conclusive episode, bro. That is a great episode we just had, man. What are your closing thoughts about this the episode?
Hey, closing thoughts, like I said, you know, the players in the league, if they build their own league, you know, kind of like what Bubba and Bruce were saying, they definitely got to stay disciplined. They definitely got to stay committed. And they would have to see that through if they actually decided to do that. I think you did wrap it up pretty well. You know, even Bruce agreed with you that fans are still going to be fans, right? So if the talent's over here, that's where they'll go. And like I said, despite what the media might say or whatever was going on, people are going to pay to be entertained. So I think you did hit it on the head with that. And then as far as like the playoff picture and who we might see in the finals, you know, I really want the Bucks to go, man. But the Celtics and the Clippers are looking pretty sharp as of how the NBA is looking right now. So, you know, but I think Bruce said it best. It's an open West, man. So you never know, you know, long as people stay healthy, you know, not too many injuries. And, you know, I do see them Celtics and them Clippers, you know, coming out into the finals, man. So as of right now, but, you know, the season's still young, man. What you think? Going, sorry. That's all right, but I can take it. But I have faith, Tune Sports. I have faith. Go ahead, BJ.
Well, Tune Sports is a Cavs fan, so I respect it. He thinks it's going to be the Cavs. I think the Cavs going to get to the conference finals. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. The Bucks, I still think the Bucks have what they can get to the finals because of what they have around Giannis. We got to see what Chris Middleton looks like. So I'm going to still go with the Bucks. I got the Clippers coming out the West. I think the West is just so wide open right now. And I think they got their big dog back. And this is the year they should get to the finals. No excuses. But yeah, man, that's all I got to say really about that. Let's get our social media, man, get up out of here.
Hey, man, well, y'all already know who it is. It's your co-host that does it the most, Slick Rick, a.k.a. Rick Masters, at Rick Masters23 of Mr. Lee on Instagram. You already know the Pull Up Basketball Podcast shirts, the red, the black, the white, the hoodies, the sweaters. Man, you already see the Cash App down there, $ BJ Matthews. Or you can also leave a little tag in the comments, man, because now we affiliated with YouTube. We out here growing, and it's all thanks to you, ladies and gents out there, and we appreciate the love and the support that you show. We really say that with much sincerity and love in our hearts. We do appreciate you. But yeah, man, if you want any of the merchandise, hit up me at B Jizzle on our DMs, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook. I'm Rick Masters everywhere else. And B Jizzle, back to you.
Like my man said, go and follow us on the YouTube page, you know what I'm saying, all social media, Twitter, Instagram, you know what I'm saying. Also, we got, you know, the tags, you know, in the chat section. You can donate that way on the bottom right-hand corner of the chat. Hit that button. You can donate to the Pull Up Basketball Podcast or the Cash App, $ BJ Matthews. And, yeah, man, until next time, respectfully say, pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull up, peace, out of here like swim, wow.